To be called a refugee is the opposite of an insult. It is a badge of strength, courage, and victory. That was a quote from the Tennessee Office of Refugees, and this is in celebration. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, one and all, to a very special show presented by the Inspired Poetry Corner. Today, I say it's a special show because the Inspired Poetry Corner has its monthly recital the third Sunday of every month. We also do an open mic. This is a venue I started last year, and I kind of put it on hiatus, and I'm bringing it back out in celebration, where I invite. This show is really about inviting the attendees to look at life through the lenses of the artists. Our artistry captured and communicated in all form. So, as audience members, you're here to witness today the brilliance that comes out of the African Youth Artistic Poetry Group. If you're looking, you see the back of me. That's their logo, and a young man, Charles, heads that up. So I invited them to come out today to meet you. Before we get going, can I ask if you're not speaking to just have your mics muted, please? Because then there's less distraction in the background. Let me just make sure. Yeah. So anyway, sorry about that, guys. So today we're going to celebrate poetry out of one of the camps out of Malawi. And that's what this is about today, is for us to be able to step out of our traditional Zoom poetry open mics and special other shows, and to come and celebrate these young people today. So the reason why I started with that quote, because today we have 8 young people that are right now currently in a refugee camp in Malawi. For me, it's not so much going old circle. I didn't think I'd be doing this again. In my previous life, when I lived in Western Canada, I did a lot of work with refugees. The non-profit organization I work for, we received a lot of the first refugees out of Syria that came into Canada, that came into Western Canada. Our agency received them and helped to house them and get them settled and so forth. And it was actually a very powerful experience working with them. So then every June 20th, we celebrated World Refugee Day. And it was always my hope in many things that I do. I hope that the things that we do when we're fighting for justice and fairness for other people, that one day it would go away. And now many years later, here I am still hosting something around refugees. So hopefully one day the world will get it right, and we will realize we don't need to be having this forced migration that the world seems to be under the spell of these days, which is a big hot topic politically. But we're not here to talk about politics today. Today we're here to celebrate the resiliency of our human spirit. That's what we're really here to celebrate. So we spotlight the poetic talents that exist in this refugee camp. This refugee camp represents many refugee camps around the world. As I mentioned, World Refugee Day is observed as a day to raise awareness for the plight of millions of people, but we don't need to wait till June 20th for World Refugee Day to acknowledge that. We can do that every day, because every day there are people like us. And if you look around this room, we all look alike. We just have different shading. We all have 2 eyes and nose and 2 ears and hair and skin. We're all human. Our shading is different. This is what I can't believe. We live in an age that we still believe our pigmentation makes us a different race. We are not a different race. We're one race made up of many different cultures and different practices. And maybe one day, the majority of people, and particularly our world leaders, will recognize this and stop talking about how different we are, because we are more alike than different. When we see that we're different, we allow atrocities to keep happening. And this is what the past is wanting to teach us, if we were willing to listen and put our egos aside and say, I see the divine in the eyes that I'm looking into, because I see the divine in all of life, period. Doesn't matter what it is. So today we're here to acknowledge that, to hopefully be a voice that permeates out against the violence, against people that have to leave their home because of violence, because of war, because of persecution, and then to living into other people's, in another person's country. So today we're here to spotlight the African Youth Artistic Poetry Group that's led up by my friend Charles. Now, before I bring Charles in, I met Charles at the World Poetry Conference that was put on by the International Academy of Ethics earlier this year. I was very blessed to be a speaker there. Dr. Molly is part of the Academy of Ethics as well. So was Charles, and that's how I met Charles. And then Charles and I started talking, and I invited him to my show. And I was really impressed with this young man, because here's a young man that's living in very adverse situation, not in his home, in a refugee camp, but still has a strong commitment, not just to uplifting himself, but uplifting others, right? It's like a success wave. The more successful he becomes, he's dragging others with him, and others are pushing him ahead, and they're all helping each other. And I find that very impressive. And that for such a young age, he has that drive to make life better, not just for himself, but for those that are in his world. And I think that's something that we can all emulate. So let me bring Charles in. So Charles Lipanda, I hope I'm saying that right, Lipanda, is a student, poet, writer, author, and slam poet from our Talents, our Advocacy Festival. He's participated in multiple events around the world, from poetry to storytelling. He's spoken at the International United Nations Commemoration Day. He was born fatherless in the Congo, raised by a single mother, was often driven to suicide also due to starvation and living in the refugee camp. He is a refugee. He's a Congolese poet, and he's an optimist. He's one of the founders of he's the president and founder of the African Youth Artistic Poetry Group, where they help vulnerable children and youth, training them through poetry and teaching them English, using poetry as a tool to uplift people and to shed the light that regardless of their circumstances, they can be better. I'm very much impressed that we have young people like this in the world that are driven to not just improve themselves, but to uplift others. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to put your hands together to snap it up as I bring to the floor Charles. Okay, you ready, Charles?
Yeah.
Let me just
Am I audible?
You. Yep, you are
Yeah,
very
am I audible?
audible. You're very audible. So before we because I'm gonna have you co-host with me, and you know, take a deep breath. I know you've done a lot of speaking and stuff, but it's still nerve-wracking at times. So I always tell people, don't try to avoid the nerves, embrace the nerves, because it lets you know you're about to do something important, right? Nerves and fear are two different things. Fear tells you that you're not worthy to be where you are. You're very worthy to be where you are. So be nervous and enjoy it, because people have come out here because of you, kind of person that you are. So Charles, how long have you been in this refugee camp that you are now?
Almost 7 years.
Almost 7 years. So how old are you now?
You say?
How old are you now?
I'm 18.
So you got there when you were 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how has it been the past 7 years living in a refugee camp?
It was incredible, something very incredible.
Say that again, sorry?
I'm saying it was very incredible. It was very incredible.
So 7 years later, how do you feel about where you are now, still in a refugee camp?
Yeah, at least compared from the past, because I had no knowledge. So nothing like I had to do. So like I had to give up on myself, but still more I had to hold up, to my hopes and dreams.
You had to hold up your hopes and dreams? Mm. Are you still holding up your hopes and dreams, or are you pursuing them vigorously?
I'm pursuing them and holding them again. Yeah.
So in the 7 years you've been in the refugee camp, what have you learned about yourself?
Yeah, what I learned in like 7 years ago, in past 7 years, I learned a lot like about life. Sometimes I think I described a lot about life, as life has got thorns, there are potholes of life, there are up and downs.
Okay.
So whatever challenges we are facing in the world, we must face them. We don't need to escape them, because escaping them, that means we don't want to leave. Because a lot of people want to leave, but then they want to live a good life, but they don't know how to face all circumstances in life.
Right.
So being refugee in all those 7 years, almost 7 years, I'm saying, I've learned a lot. Like everything is for a purpose and a reason.
Yeah, that's a good attitude. And I agree with that. I think everything we do is preparing us and for our growth and development, regardless of our circumstances. So you're quite active in the world, even though you're in a refugee camp, and obviously you use technology to connect. And like I said, that's how we met, through the Academy of Ethics, right? And hearing your poetry at the World Poetry Conference. So, but you also do a lot of things with storytelling and with the United Nations, with refugees and so forth. How did you get involved in all the things that you do? How did that come about for you?
Actually, when refugees had to leave or flee their homelands, so we come our own language, and then when we reach to host the country, Malawi, so we usually face language. Language is the first thing most refugees by then in 2019, I had to start learning English, and then after 1 year, then I said, how am I going to improve my English? Because English is not easy like that. Because I couldn't speak English, I couldn't write, I couldn't read. I could only speak French, Swahili, and Fulero. So I had to choose what if I started writing poetry? At first, it was not like writing poetry, but I was sometimes invited at some events, and then I could just read a poem of other people. Maybe I could take it from Google account and something like that. Then I came why can't I write my own poem? Why can't I write? Then I started little by little, joining different young in refugee camp. And that's how I came. I started writing poetry since 2021.
Right.
After writing, and that's how I started also my first year in secondary school.
Oh, that's
that. I just keep on writing and also posting Facebook. So Facebook became my home. Facebook became my home for me to write and post. People read, they give me feedback. Keep on writing, keep on writing. Otherwise, I would have stopped writing, because learning English in 6 months, 1 year, 2 years is not easy. And then you start writing and become a famous poet.
It does take time, but it also takes the work. You have to be willing to put the work in. Obviously, you're doing that. So speaking of poetry and writing, I know that right now you're getting ready to release a book, an anthology. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, okay. There's an anthology that you're going to release very soon, because today we're just going to talk about it, but it will be released it will be May, actually in May, but should be on Amazon. On Amazon. So being refugee wasn't a choice. That's the title of the book.
Okay.
Actually, at first hands, we had to write a lot of poems but they know where they are going. You know, people in the camp don't support, not in the camp, but in Africa, people don't support literature. You know,
Right.
people don't support literature, stuff like that. Yeah, as refugees, we had to see if everything is going on out here in like in the refugee camp, and also we are aware of technology. Why can't we be the mouthpiece of the communities, also the whole world? In which way? We have to put all poems together so that we can at least write a book. Maybe this book is going to reach very far. People can read everywhere, because it's very hard for a refugee like me in Malawi. We are not free. We can't move, you see. So how can I go somewhere and start speaking whatever challenges we are facing? So I have to write. So we just had to come up with being refugee wasn't a choice, with Ruth Takondwa. I think you're going to see her very soon. She's a very young girl, yeah, from secondary school. And then we just had to write like that. So being refugee wasn't a choice. It's just showing like being refugee, it was not a choice, right? Being refugee was not a choice, but it's something that no one can choose, or no one could choose to be a refugee, but we all come. So we deserve human rights. We deserve everything that every human being deserves.
Yeah.
That's the message behind, yeah.
You mentioned, you know, having the, why did you have to leave the DR Congo?
Yeah, Democratic Republic of Congo is one of the countries that has been severely suffering from wars up and there since even I was not born. You know, wars were there. You know, yeah. So like myself, when I was living where I was living in Kiev. I mean, Kiev, in a part where wars usually break up. Almost, yeah. Even this year, we also had wars. Like a lot of people had been killed. Not even wars, but genocide. I mean, genocide. A lot of people been killed in anyhow. So we had to escape like that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. You also mentioned something. I don't know. I wasn't aware. You said you're not really free. You can't move around. You're in the camp, and so you're not. Are you in the camp 24/7? Like, can you leave the camp and go in other parts of Malawi, or you have to be in the camp? You understand what I'm
Come
asking?
again?
You mentioned
No,
that you're
come
not
again.
free in the camp. Are you free to leave the camp, or do you have to be in the camp 24/7?
I have to be in a camp because no one is allowed to go out. There is a certain policy which was just previously introduced by the government of Malawi. So no refugee should be found outside. No refugee should be found outside, yeah, either in urban areas, in rural areas. So just in the camp, which is this is permanent encampment, which is very inhuman, because people have to be free, you know, to be free to move. Maybe they can be working and get something to feed their own children. But keeping a lot of refugees in the camp is something very inhuman, because it's causing a lot of struggles and problems in the camp.
Yeah. I don't know if many people realize that, particularly refugees in camps in other parts of the world, their freedom is restricted, right? So, you know, think about that, people. You have to leave your home country, not by choice. You have to leave, whether it's war or facing political persecution or whatever violence you might face. So you have to leave your homeland, hopefully going to another place to be rescued, and then you get there and then you're basically trapped because you cannot move. You have to be there. So think you know, just absorb that, you know, especially for us living in the West. We really take our freedoms for granted, and the ability to move around, and we complain about a lot of things, and yet there's places that have it worse, and it's all relative. But I just think that's interesting that, you know, the assumption for some people is that you're in a camp, so you know, things are, you know, you ran from some place because of the violence, but then you're running to a place where you're also restricted. So anyway, I appreciate you sharing that with us. So the book is coming out in May, and I hope once it's released, we'll put it up and we'll share it in the various groups, and I hope people will definitely support. One of the things about today is as well is I wanted to ask before I turn this over to you, Charles, and you guys do your thing, because I know you guys are going to recite. You're also doing a group piece, right? And once you guys are done, then I'll invite my friend Danielle to do her poetry and to kind of do a little quick talk on gratitude for us gathering here today. That's the format of today. It's very simple because I just wanted a chance for you guys to meet Charles before I turn this over to Charles, and then the group is going to do a group piece, and then you're going to hear from the 8. And Charles, just remind the young ones. I know they're all anxious to speak. We're here for you. I want to try to keep this show within 2 hours because I'm noted for going very long in my shows. But having said that, I want everyone to feel that they have a chance to speak. Here's the opportunity for not just you, but for the other poets to speak. And for the people in the community in attendance, once again, we're grateful that you're spending part of your day with us, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening for you, depending on what part of the world you are. I am grateful that you accepted the invite and are willing to spend some time with us to see these beautiful faces, these artistic souls that are, regardless of where they are right now, are pushing to improve their lives. So one of the things I'm going to ask for people in the audience, I'm not going to ask for money and so forth, but I'm going to ask you, if you're so moved and you want to support these young artists, please reach out to Charles and figure out how you can support this African artistic poetry group, how you can help them live. Here that many people are struggling with the inflation, and life is very expensive right now, but it's always not just about money. Maybe you can offer mentorship and just guidance and helping them. So I am just asking you, it's not something I'm demanding of. I'm just asking you to consider what you can do to offer assistance to these young ones that are trying their darndest to get out of their current situation. And what can we do to help them? One of the things we can do is when the book comes out is to support them in buying the book. Another thing that we can do is to reach out to Charles and talk to them. Instead of me telling you, talk to them and find out what is it that you can do, and so that in regards to helping them live this life in a better way. So when the book comes out, please consider supporting it. For those that are organizers on the show, invite these poets to your shows and find ways to spotlight them even more. The more awareness that we can bring, the more we have a chance that we can help. And like I said, maybe one day, very soon, we won't need to have refugee camps anymore, because I haven't done anything with refugees in almost 5 years, and it kind of saddens me that we're still doing this. And I love doing this type of show, but the fact that we have to have a show that's around it, it does sadden me a bit. So anyway, so Charles, are you guys ready to go? Charles, can you unmute? Oh, looks like you're orchestrating.
Yes, I'm saying just a minute.
Yeah. I can see you're orchestrating. You're orchestrating. Okay.
Yeah,
so what I'm gonna do is basically, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna hand the show over to Charles, because where Charles is right now, they're using. Sorry, what's the name of the community center that you're at?
This is Plan Library.
Say it again.
Plan Library.
Plan Library. So this is on the refugee camp. This is in the refugee camp. But this is a library, a local place, because usually when Charles and the other poets come on, they all individually come on their phone, and sometimes connections aren't the best. So I was when Charles and I were talking about doing this show, I said, is there a place on camp where we can get everyone together? So this library opened up their facilities to allow them to be there today, where they could be in one space, and hope with the technologies a lot better where connection is. So I'm going to turn this over to you, Charles, so you can, we would love to hear a poem from you, but I know you guys have been rehearsing, so I'm going to allow you to do the show that you guys prepared for. Okay?
Yeah, I hope you're going to start with a group poem and then you go by name.
Well, you're going to do that. You're co-hosting with me, so you're the one that's there. So you're going to introduce him, and we're going to sit back and take it all in. So when you're ready to go, when you're ready to go, start.
Yeah. Hello once again. This is African artistic poetry from Zalega refugee camp. So just as Rawle James said that this poetry movement aims at the mouthpiece, advocating for all rights of not only refugees, but even human beings everywhere, because everybody, I believe, suffers. Nobody does not suffer, but everybody suffers. It might not be about money, as he said, but about mental, mental disability, something like that. Everybody suffers. As such, we usually write poems to make sure that everything goes well. People do not feel like they should give up, but they should live and having a lot of hopes, something like that. So actually, we are going to open the mic with a group of poems that we wrote last year when refugees had to be returned to their camp from rural areas and urban areas. So it served as a mouthpiece to the rights of refugees to be free also, so that people, at least everywhere, can hear, something like that. So we are going to start.
You guys are looking good. You guys are looking good. Charles, you're gonna have to do it in a way where everyone's in the shot, so.
Refugee among refugees. I'm a refugee among refugees. I'm a victim among victims. I'm an African among Africans. Is my skin not enough for my identity? Am I not like you? Am I supposed to be slow for my nationality? On a day of bloodshed and woundings, running was the only way to save the beating of the heart. Family and friends were held in a pending. No time for thinking, saving was life the priority, because this was not a time for history, but application of physics and biology. Running where peace and security were the trending topics. I fled searching for peace. Still more, you want me to run away. Your black green clothes scares me. I'm a dying soul floating around the Lake Nyasa. My heart is rotting or fitting when detaining me doesn't satisfy you, but my sweated work. Do you see it? Homes on fire, homes on fire. Flames burning as humanity is the greatest religion, but seems to be quite forgotten and right to respect that we don't deserve to have fun or live in town. Is this part of the community institution? An institution? No. And it's not in a constitution, or it's part of your last revolution. If they knew the real meaning of humanity, they couldn't treat us like this. They couldn't leave us homeless as we are. See, we came to search for peace, to stabilize our mind, but they chase us as if locomotion is not one of our rights. Are we not like you? Refugee among refugees. I am a refugee among refugees. I'm a victim among victims. I'm an African among Africans. Is my skin not enough for my identity? Am I not like you? Am I supposed to be slow for my nationality? Andale. Dine muntu kakale dinerefu. So foolish kundiku jaso eneo. Si l'humanité est pour vous, pourquoi ne s'est-il pas pour nous aussi? Twirutse duhi nambara ariko nambara iricyadusanga. Refugee among refugees. I am a refugee among refugees. I'm a victim among victims. I'm an African among Africans. Is my skin not enough for my identity? Am I not like you? Am I supposed to be flawed to my nationality? Until when? Until when are we going to cry? Until when are we going to lose hope? Until when are we going to witness our ancestors' blood rolling down? Until when?
See, we are called refugees, it's okay. But living with no joy, but full of sorrow. Tears and cries are the treasure that are swallowed. Bombs cause bodies, bleeding blood, even babies, and bring millions of bodies to bury per minute. I'm coming from where bombs are busting bodies, causing them to bleed the innocent blood. My tassels, pieces are posing my faces and curses and calamities are the drawing on our faces. So we are tired of this life of endless races.
Blood flows like water. Blood flows like water, children becoming orphans, men becoming widows. The door of paper turning into windows. We've been running from nowhere to be seen. We're busy in their ways, wasting our time. Is this time going to be repaired?
Like water in the sky, the presence haunts me. My life is a mirror of broken pieces that no one can collect. For my parents were displaced and scattered away from me as death hid them in dark graves. Refugee among refugees.
Until when are we going to cry? Until when are we going to lose hope? Until when are we going to witness our ancestors' blood rolling down? Until when? Yes, I have gas to motivate and inspire the world despite being refugee. I'm not a criminal. Don't give me indoor. I am a human being born to live. I wanna be free because this is not the real me.
People have been wandering to see.
I've been running like a bee. I've been searching for a destination to be.
I hope you
agree. Thank you.
Wow. Powerful, Charles. Powerful. Powerful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's the piece. That was the piece about refugees, and as one of the main message, about everything we are suffering. Because we don't just write lyric poetry, but we also do spoken word artist.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I like the fact that you don't write it, you don't just write it, but you perform it, and that was well done. You guys need to record that, and we need to share that. That's a powerful piece, Charles. Well done. I can see why you guys are practicing. You got to find, you got to record it, and then get it to me and the others, and we need to share that and really get it out there. So, all right, continue on, young man. Well done. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. So by now, let's open for a girl who is Mirielle.
Hi.
Yes, then what you want to say?
Hello, my name is Abedi Mirielle. I'm going to perform a poem entitled For Sure I Am Tired. Yes, here it goes. For sure I am tired. Since I was born, helpless flew on my face. Sadness, hopeless were drawn on it. Tears are flowing on my cheeks as the flow of water, like a lake that has an endless flow. I am crying, but it is taken as a joke. Stupid is my insult. Screams are my daily result. My tears doesn't mean anything, for some taken is something. being taken as a public toilet. Is this humanity? Being beaten and discriminated. Am I an animal? I am tired of opening my virgin all the time. I am tired of being seen as a shit of the world. I am tired of carrying a youth but that maltreats me. I am tired. I am tired. When I say I'm tired, do you think it's a play? When I say it hurts, do you think it's a joke? Please, I want to be heard and helped, not to be abused and used. I am tired of weeping and cleaning the tanks of blood that comes out of my body. My breasts are being sucked and used. Is it bad to be born as a torture? Is it good to destroy my ambitions? Or this is my destination of being hidden as meat and thrown as bones, of being discriminated and abused. I have dreams to achieve, not being a sex worker. I have goals to approach, not just being a cultures and traditional determiner. Nelson Mandela said, education is the key to success, but I think it was meant for boys because I am a culture and traditional determiner. I am a sex successor, or maybe I am just an abuse determiner. Until now, I have no question. I have no answer to these questions. I am just weeping and crying for being used and thrown, for being destroyed and played. Until when? Until when I'll be struggling with life? Until when it will be just me? Sometimes I wish to have wings and fly in the sky, because maybe there I could not be treated like this. Why? Why only? Why just my life? Why has become my song? My song that is sounding kind of tear, but none had paid attention to it later than producing actions that are full of any question in my life. I am a young girl. Of course I am. Yes, I am. But everything in my life has come to them, and nothing can bandage my heart. So please, I am tired. I am tired. I am tired of this life. A life of always being a victim of abuses. I am tired. For sure, I am tired of this life. Thank you.
Wow. Young lady, can you come closer to the camera, please? Can you say can you say your name again, please?
My name is Abedi Mirielle.
Nice to meet you. That was a powerful piece. Thank you very much. How old are you?
I'm 17 years old.
I felt your power and the pain in your poetry. You know, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being so open and sharing that. That's a very powerful piece that I wish my nieces could hear that. They're younger than you, and sometimes we forget what other women and young girls have to go through in this world that we take for granted here. So thank you for having that the strength and courage to share those words. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well done. Well done.
Absolutely. Great. The next one is Bienvenu Ruhigita.
Hello, guys. Yeah, I'm going to perform a poem entitled Poverty, the Home of Africans. Here it goes. Africa is a forest where ants are queens and grasshoppers are kings. Africa is a melting pot which borrow their own things from others, and I am the only son from a widowed mother who will never stop crying until all Africans put on shoes. I'm coming from a poor family where we were poorly educated. Our houses are made from bamboos covered with coconut leaves. Chains of high mountains are surrounding us, and there were no way to communicate with others.
My mother died in silent pain. It's a hack, but it was flooded by a stream of life. Father died with nothing in pocket. Life is heavily weighted in Africa. Children are grave diggers of elders, dying with stinking goals and dreams of them. It is cruelly emotional instincts from pure feelings. Orphans are all over, including I. We sing and sang songs as warriors, war-made African slave traders. People flee the fighting and became refugees with no identities, but only carrying nationality. Anger is terrible, but knows to us. Life in Africa has no tell. We fought for patriotism, but fell. Africa is a fraction of herself, extending levels of progress. We mourn and weep for it, but the national anthem has no sense. Poverty, the homeland of Africans. We kept and kept here, our claws rolled with each on them, our feet of ears with no shoes, toys are thinking out day by day. Our tears are dancing on us yesterday and today, and our bare hands act as machines. We do and support everything by our hands. Our continent is full of calamities. Memorable years passed that hide our happiness. Land was seized and graves were built. Keeping our catches alive is hard. We owe vipers by leaving our lands. Depression expressed, but no one cares. Our story sounds clear to those at distance. A long struggle, not to be laughed at. Our legs and heads are drooping as elephants, and the whole population has believed that death is a peaceful freedom. We crashed abroad to show feet, presumed the killing of patriotic songs. We never dreamed of stepping in richness. We look corrupt than various politicians on the earth, but are innocent of bending bombs, fighting against this disease, which is eating our lives and brains, and it is called poverty. Poverty, the homeland of Africans. Thank you.
Well done, young man. I've heard he's Bienvenu is recited at my show before. He's a powerful poet. I love the line, our heads, trophies like elephants. Well done. Well done. How are you today? How are you today, young man?
I'm doing well.
Yeah. What do you like about
I'm doing well.
What do you like about poetry?
Because I do this to express myself. I express my life, as you can understand my poem.
Mm-hmm.
I express myself, my feelings, and what I've passed through.
Okay. You got a powerful voice. Like I said, first time I heard you, I saw that and I heard it, and I keep hearing it every time I hear you. So, keep persevering and keep writing and performing. Thank you for this today. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next one is Ruth.
This is the young woman that you're doing the anthology with, right, Charles?
Yes, she is. She's the co-author. She's the co-author.
Okay. Hello, Ruth.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, how are you? Okay.
Okay, I have a poem. It's entitled "We Need Peace." Yeah, here it goes. I am half dead. We are half dead. Half people who doesn't know where they are going and where they came from. Because we have lost our mind due to running a day by a day with no direction. We came from where bombs were meat, where blood was milk, where dead bodies were decoration of the road, coming to search for peace, but it came as a disaster. Now you are chasing us and we're expecting us to go. Going back in that botanic satanic garden, or else going back in that grave where we came from. We have lost the way indeed. We came here to search for peace, but see what you are giving us. Now, We are crying as if we are dead bodies. Surely we have lost our mind. Listen, we came from where our tears was the only democracy that we remained, coming now to search for peace. But still more, we haven't found it. We are still running a day by a day. Now our embryos are getting even fear to get out of our wombs. Surely we are tired, but all what we need is peace. Just set us and leave us free. Because we are tired of this. All what we need is peace. Thank you.
Well done, Ruth. I know you're a bit nervous, but well done. Good job. I love the line. We come from where our tears were the only democracy seen. That is a powerful, powerful line.
Thank you.
Very powerful. Good writing. Good writing. Are you nervous? Are you nervous?
Yes?
Are you nervous?
Are you nervous?
Yes.
Or were you nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's okay. You still did it. You did it very well. So good job. Yes,
Yeah.
smile. Smile and let it out. Exactly. Yes. You did a great job. Well, that's a powerful poem. Thank you so much, Ruth. Thank you. I look forward to your book when it comes out.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. You're most welcome. Beautiful dress, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
The next from Zaleka refugee camp is Damien.
Hi. Hi.
How you doing, bud?
Okay, hi. My name is Daniel.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you too. So I have a piece. So that I would like to share with you guys. So entitled "Raise Up Your Voice." As we are in the refugee camp, we must also to raise. See, so here it goes. Raise up your voice and raise up in poetry. Raise up your voice and raise up in art. Raise up your voice and raise up in music. We are whole to write. When I'm up in the space, I can emphasize. When I'm bowling the ball, I can sympathize. With the bowling down my aim, my voice can never rise. Even if I live as a day that can be recognized. In this life was a Laker. Who is to rise on behalf of this broken soul like a wise? I wanna see peace in clearly before I get home. I wanna get joy. Was tracing pavement of God. I wanna witness black and white to read and sound to be bright. I wanna rise in poetry. Raise up your voice and raise up in poetry. Raise up your voice and raise up in music. Raise up your voice and raise up in art. We are called to rise. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Raise up with poetry to ride. Beautiful, my friend. Beautiful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Beautiful. How old are you, young man?
I am 17 years old.
How old, sorry?
17 years old.
17. Wow. You guys are so young. You're so young and courageous. I mean, I love your poetic voice. You have a very poetic heart.
Thank you.
I sense you see poetry in everything that you do. So
yeah,
good for you. Keep writing. Keep writing. Thank you. Just the premise of your poem and praising poetry and you rises up. Well done, my friend. Well done. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you too.
The next one is Saidi Lizi.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're enjoying this. This is such a powerful thing. So There you go. There you go. Welcome.
My name is Saidi Lizi, King of God. I have a piece of a poem which is entitled In the Jupiter. So it's talking about the reality life. Omnivoring, omnivoring sabah. I can think you are, oh, you are so fine. Mommy, mommy, never. I can think you are, God, you are so fine. In the Jupiter, in the Jupiter, in the Jupiter. My life is called poverty. My mind is known as a poor guy. My love story is known as a book of poetry. My sorrow always ends into a dead cry. I have attached one gone hope in the journey. How many times I have to cry in this sky? My body is called a deep skeleton. I have took the place of the first woman. My talking is known as a spiritual guy. How many times I have to pay tears in this sky? Sinatra become my parent. It flows rhymes of poems into my head. Babe, I'm sorry. It has been my advisor for so long now. It tells me what to do and what not to do. My head has become a pale memories. I want to recall all occasions occurred in my life. In the Jupiter, I have become an orphan, not by name, but by nature. I have changed as African cultures. I hope to recall all stories which happened in the life of that person. It is passion of lessons. I have seen dying of some people before born. I have walked all the night without rest in the day night. Like a brain in I'm still beating faiths. My original is called the lost sun. My cries always end in the dead night. I have seen how my parents were lost. I walk in the desert of life, searching for peace, searching for peace, choosing for peace, searching for peace. Where is the freedom? Where is? In the Jupiter, I still crying and crying, no one to aid me. I'm still crying and crying, where is it, that life? I'm still crying and crying. My voice has become speechless in the world of today. I have changed and become a refugee. My name have also changed. In the Jupiter, there is no life, but you can gain and achieve your dreams. Poetry, life of everyone. Omnivoring, omnivoring sabah. I can think you God, you are so fun. Thanks.
Oh my gosh. Wow. What is your name again, young man?
Saidi Lizi.
Saidi Lizi. You are one of my poet friends that's also a host. He always uses your storm god. You're power in nature, my friend. You sing, you can act, you can sing, you can act, and you're a poet. I love the line, my head plagued by bad memories, and then my voice speechless in the words. Powerful, powerful words, my brother. And the performance. You know, it's funny here in the West where we live, you watch people on television, on social media, and sometimes I wonder the things that we put on our television that influences our young ones, and yet look at the talent that lives. Look at the talent. Thank you, brother. Thank you for that. That was a beautiful performance. Thank you.
I thank you.
You're welcome. You are so welcome.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Also, before we finish the three from Zalega refugee camp,
Yep.
let's have a little young refugee poet in primary school, Mirielle.
Okay.
Hi,
Hey, buddy.
my name is Hamil. I got a poem titled My Birth. Here it goes. I was born from my liberty that showed me my community. I tried to make it society so that I should relax and share some softies. I am the man full of fire, shining as a flower. I belong to a long song of a gold cover. I'm free for all my fear. I keep up to pump my peoples in purpose in order to achieve my dream. So what come about me? Is it to die off or to lie down? I want to get across, it make me to go ahead. I want my life to move on side so that it should lie beside of I. I was born full of God, great enough for me. Those breaking my relation to shame my nation, all that cause I was capable since the belly of my mother. I enjoy with my rasta to join with my pastors so that one will celebrate together for against us. Living with people, giving the lesson. That's why I'm born with a reason. I have a boat. Living with people, giving the lesson, that's why I was born by the reason. I may give with no honor, wake a man with no bosses. I was born with my liberty that showed me my community. I tried to make it society so that I should laugh and share some stuff. My day begin in silence and end in silence. Thank you.
Oh, my Lord. Wow. How old are you, my friend? Can you hear me? How old are you?
I'm 12 years old.
Good. 12 years old.
12 years old.
12 years old. Wow.
Yeah.
And you're already performing like that. You wrote that poem yourself? That's your poem.
Yeah.
You're 12 years old and you're writing such powerful poems already. Wow. You're another force of nature. You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you.
I'm serious. I'm not just saying that. You should be very proud of yourself. That was a powerful piece. You didn't expect that from a 12-year-old, but man, well done. Well done. Feel good about what you just did.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for having the courage to write, for having the courage to then speak it, to perform it, to stand before people that you don't know and share your poetry. That takes a lot of courage. So I want to applaud you for that. Because the poem itself was powerful, but then your performance.
The next one is Nathalie.
Thank you.
Yes.
Say that, Charles. Say that again. I think we have a bit of a delay on the line, Charles. Are you guys still there? I think we have a bit of delay on the line, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll give them a moment to come back on. But until then, what do you guys think so far? What are your thoughts? Of what you're experiencing this morning?
Well, I like it. I'm having trouble hearing the words. I don't know if it's my speaker, my ears, or.
Yeah,
I like what I can hear. I like what they're doing.
Well, so it is a little glitchy, but you just have to focus a little harder. But I hear what you're saying, Scott. No, I hear what you're saying because there's moments it comes in and out as well for here. But what I'm like you, whatever I'm catching is just blowing me away. Like, you know, that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this. So, oh, Charles, you're back. Okay, let's continue on. Anytime you want to unmute, Charles.
I'm saying the next one is Nathalie.
Okay. Hello, hello, welcome.
Hello. Yeah, my name is Nathalie, and I've got a piece of poem entitled She Was Born to Be. Here it goes. Let me free, so that I should so far one day. Don't force me to do so, because education is the way. They told her she should impregnate the sky and wait till her dreams book. Coming from thirsty to basic was her dream, but it was united and made her regretted. I'm a girl, I need my rights. For the education is my future bright lights. I don't need money, I don't need men, but only to learn. Let me fulfill my bags, books, and pain, and no children. To go to the farm so my mind brain, cause I want to harvest fruits and no regrets. She told them, but they told her to tie off hotels, though she couldn't stop searching for hand to hold her nightmares. She was forced at all. Trees are shedding blood, even death ignited to obtain her, for her dreams were still waiting for her in the world. Now she's back again, to be girls' chest, to raise girls' right flag, and not to be flogged anymore. Cause we were created by one God. The mission is to conquer the Satan. Let us stop this nation, because he isn't a solution. I'm a girl, and I'm proud of being a girl. Let's trust in ourselves to stand independently, cause time is still a little. I'll show you that I'm capable even to solve the world. Thank you.
Nathalie. Oh, there's that smile. Let it out. Wow. Wow. What's that line? Education, my future, bright light. You're right. Education is your future bright light, but you are your future bright light. You know, ladies and gentlemen in the West, man, we are so fortunate where we live, and we have young women like this
Yes.
fighting for a life, fighting for their voice, fighting to be recognized, not just to be human, but to be recognized as a woman, which I find saddening because we all come from woman. Nathalie, thank you for that reminder. Thank you for that powerful piece. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. You can go. You're welcome. This delay is making it quite interesting.
The next one is myself here.
Okay.
Yeah, the next one is myself. So I'm Charles Lipanda, and I'm going to recite one of my favorite poems, and I hope you find them well. So here goes. Would you still stay or go away? Children crying bitterly, cries and tears splashing quickly, parents confused in anguish of dilemma, for more than millions of sounds of bombs crashing and clashing with ears. Buildings shaded down the dead bodies, western storms piled in black lands ready to spade. Would you still stay home after your parents been beheaded for having farms or chaos, or do you run away seeking for refuge where food is needed in the sun, where water is as dry as a leaf, where clothing is like education is like a refugee camp. Leaders fighting over the golden earth, turning politics into wings, paving away the miners to the edges of the world. Would you still stay home or go away? Thank you. That's the first piece. So the next piece is Waves of the Sea. I am a poet, no pen and paper. Words ripple on lips like soft winds. Valiant voice rustles in me to speak for the orphans whose blood flows with the viscosity of the fleets. Our flag is dying for you have failed to protect our mother Congo. We brought you on zero peace. When you stop grinding and crushing us, we are spices in the mortar. How long this bloodshed be swimming the tunnel? We are refugees with no shelters. The rhythm of hymn sang by souls for the guns have been killed with refuge. With nostalgia ringing, reflecting, appealing. When our dead parents were alive, who did sleep on a mat no night. Cassia trees vibrating to the beat of the guns. We are vestiges of victims and being pushed away like people in the river and walking in penumbra as the stars dancing in auroras. I don't want war. I want peace. We want peace. We want a world of peace. I smell the scent of air in the petunia of grapes, for barrels are rotted and all humiliated for being penurious of waves of the sea. Being refugee wasn't a choice. Yeah, thanks so much.
Charles, you're up. I keep using this word, and from the little bit I get to see from the chat, this word has been used a lot. Powerful. You're a powerful voice. You're a powerful presence, Charles.
Thank you.
You know, your poetry itself. Was that our flag is dying? You know, we didn't protect the Congo. You're just a powerful presence. I really appreciate
thank you.
What you've done today in bringing all these young people together. You were the last one today. Can you bring everyone in the shot, Charles? Get everyone to come around you.
Yeah, yes.
I'm gonna ask everyone to unmute, and if you guys can all gather so we can see you together, right? To the best of your ability. Hey, Charles, get in. Yeah. To your best of your ability, yeah. Let's see everyone. Ruth, you're gonna have to stand in the middle because we can't see you at the end, Ruth. Yeah, get in the middle. Where's Ruth? There she is. Get in a little closer, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna invite you to unmute and just applaud these young poets, these young people that came out this morning, this afternoon. Almost move over. Yeah, Truncheon. Look at the smiles. I hope you all feel good for what you've just done. I hope you feel good. I hope you feel good. Is everyone in the shot? Try to get as close as you can. Where's Charles? There you go.
I'm here.
I'm just trying to take a
picture.
Yeah, I'm just trying to take a picture. So there you go. If you guys all look and smile to the best. There you go. There's your head. To the best of your ability. Right there, right there. All right. Give him a big hand, guys. There's the smile. How beautiful. Look how beautiful you guys look. Look how beautiful you look. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for this performance. Thank you for your bravery, your courage, your powerful words. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna mute everyone, and we're getting close to the end of the show. I just wanted to say, wow. Thank you all for being here. Before we take off, I want to invite my beautiful friend Danelle Boyles to come on to share her poetry, but also to just share some comments. I saved her at the end because this woman does a lot of work, a lot of humanitarian work. She does a lot of work with students out of Bangladesh. Is it the Glory Foundation that you're associated with?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Want me to join now?
Yeah, I was just doing a little intro to you, but
Thank you.
the life skills coach, a spiritual coach like myself. I don't know. We just use these titles as the way to people to describe. But she's like myself. She's just doing her part to uplift our human consciousness, to get us to all wake up to our magnificence and to realize that we're all connected as humans. So, if I can ask you to share your thoughts and some poetry, that'd be amazing.
Absolutely. That is very hard to follow up, guys. I am absolutely moved by every single one of you. On the verge of tears still, because as a poet, a humanitarian, as a global worker that pretty much dedicates all of my free time to helping others move into higher expansion of themselves, I see so much emotional growth in you from your life experiences. And it's a bittersweet situation when you go through these things that empowers you and brings you to a point that you take all of your pain and the pain of others that you feel that go through similar situations and turn it into healing and growth and learning, and then carry that forth for other people to heal and understand, from where you have come from and what you are doing in this painful path of purpose that you are leading. And I work with children and people globally in India and Pakistan and Bangladesh and Singapore and many places through several organizations. So I see firsthand all walks of life. And so for me to be able to visualize your life experiences through your words and the empowerment of your actions, it brings forth a commotion of emotions as a highly empathic person, knowing that you are healing from this while you're empowering others. So, my words to you are always let your echoes lead you forward. So I did write a couple of pieces specifically for today, because I feel like, there is a piece for every purpose, and, pieces that I have written in yesterday may not be appropriate for today. And so you deserve your own inspiration from me that you brought me to feel. And so you have to excuse me. My voice is very dry today. So get a little drink. This one that I'm going to read to you is Echoes of Me. And I feel like it embodies a lot of just what you've experienced. I've, not firsthand experienced, necessarily a refugee type situation. I have had life experiences that are similar, that I've had to flee from life circumstances, in protection and growth and movement. And so, I can relate in a small sense. And my heart sends you love and healing. Echoes of me. I hear the echoes of freedom sifting through parted lips, afraid to breathe. A soft reminder that will cometh does not always do so easily. A deserving and desire, a need to flee, leaving of homeland and what it has done to me. This exchange of peace and war, it comes and goes. Moments of weakness that my homesickness grows. Mother tongue in my mind, soul ties that rightfully bind. echoes whispered from the past, ancestors chanting free at last. You are the one that broke free, a healing of lineage no one can see. And when you roam and miss the scene of family and ritual embedded in thee, mother tongue whispers back, supports with strength, picking up the lack, a refugee calling anywhere home. Settled with fire and stronger than bone. This is where I will pass, looking through historical glass, bringing them from me, from the past, seeing where they long to be at last, being free just like me, guided by protection to roam, always knowing I'm never alone. Freeing, fleeing, safety, at peace, settled, secured, emotionally at ease. And that's hard for me to read to you because I feel everything that you've experienced, you know, and that's for me to learn from as well. And I have another small one. Yeah, as you can see, I'm quivering because I feel, you know, so much of what you've experienced. Am I free? Am I free, chasing dreams and being me, forced to follow a path, one of stolen childhood and lifelong healing task, searching for peace? I am a refugee. I am me, healing generations of pain through my flee. Army crawling through this life experience causing pain. I am here to hear your name. Validation of this path, validation of your pain, your story, your coming again, raising yourself and your name to gain, blessed to be and healed within. Your voice raises to ease others' pain with a story of cleansing through, a lifting of emotional taboo. Carry on and lead the way. Your story in so many ways gains a force, a miracle, a pathway to a changing life force in all that you do. Wow. So I love you all. And from here to there, bless you for everything that you have overcome. And carry on and keep on doing the beauty that you're doing, because it is so touching and so inspiring, and heal your hearts and you heal many. So with that, bless you on your future forward.
One of the multitude of reasons I love you, your heart. You have such a blessed heart.
Well, thank you for having me today, Rawle. You know, it's always a pleasure. It's always an emotional experience. You know, the things that we do in life and in this pathway that we do are not always for the weak of heart, because we encounter, you know, the battle damage along the way of all of this life has to offer, you know, in the good and the bad.
Yeah, I agree. And just,
yeah,
you're a blessed soul that I think, and I'm still vibing. I could feel it. I mean, I was already vibing from Charles and the group, and not just their performance, but their smiles, just the stuff that they've gone through, that they continue to go through, and they can still smile, and not fake smile, right? Smile from heart, smile from bellies. They're just smiling from within, and
it's a genuine feeling. No, I don't mean to overspeak. When you see a person who has gone to, so to speak, hell and back, and they have experienced these life experiences, and you overcome these things that are supposed to completely destroy you, you have a special ability to rise up and then rise everyone else up around you. And that is what they're doing. They have moved through these trials in their life, and they glow with the enlightenment of overcoming their challenges.
Yeah.
It's a growth. It's a growth that a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm proud of one of you. You're so young.
I know.
You're so young.
17, 12 years old, and they're already,
Yes.
they're taking it on. And, you're right. Many people, that's why I say sometimes here in the West, we're beyond spoiled. We take our life challenges and not realizing the growth that can come from it. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of it is harsh, downright harsh. Both you and I have lost loved ones, and sometimes, the mind can't wrap your head around it.
Oh, aside from losing lost loved ones, I personally have experienced a lot of life tragedy, not just in, losing loved ones, but in, going through extremely, extremely difficult times of bringing yourself back from the brink of destruction and loss. And you learn to navigate life differently once you survive, and survive many times. It becomes an art, and then your art, a pathway for others to follow and heal. But I'm just very proud of every single one of you, and I appreciate your presence today. I've overcome my quivery lip, I think.
Well, thank you so much for being here and being willing to express gratitude and share your poetry and your supportive words. And
do the cheesy heart. I love you all.
the practice of empathy is different than sympathy, and I prefer to practice empathy, because regardless of what they're going through, I don't feel sorry for them. I embrace their strength, because my resiliency tank was filled by the harshness of life, the things that I had to go through. And I was telling my friends that believe in God, my sisters that believe in God, I always say, God does not create weak. Everything that you are going through because you have the strength to go through it, as hard as it is. So that is the end of this gathering in celebration. Seems like an odd title to celebrate the fact that we're doing a special show with people that are in a refugee camp, a representation of many people on this planet right now that's displaced from their home, their countries, living in other countries. And as great as other countries are willing to take them in, much of their humanity is still not respected and recognized. So for us who does live outside of those in those walls, I invite you to break down your walls, to heal yourself. Don't fear what you've gone through. Stop running from your fears and run to them. Turn to them. The only way to overcome them is to face them, not run from them. The more you run from them, the more they'll chase you. And it's an endless battle. We just got examples of young ones in the most adverse situations, still smiling from their soul, refusing to let life bring them down. So my invitation to you, if you're truly moved, reach out to Charles and find ways to help them. It's not always about money. It's like a child. What does a child want from their parents? Time. Can you give them time? Can you guide them? Can you give them life lessons? Can you teach them how to be better poets? If you have the financial means, what can you send them? Not just money. What can you offer? We have so much that we can offer. Look around our lives. When I look at the way I live, and I live a very simple life, I don't have possessions, and yet I look at how much abundance I have in my life. I got up this morning on the right side of the dirt, and that's a good day. A great day is what I choose to do with it. And I choose, to the best of my ability, like my friend Danielle, to try to uplift our human consciousness, to help us to realize that we're all in this together. It is time for us to get past the pigmentation. I have no shame in my pigmentation. I don't shame it. I celebrate it. I love my pigmentation. You should love yours as well, regardless of what it is. Forget what everyone tells you. We are one race with 31 different flavors. Isn't it a good thing we have different flavors? We are human. That's what makes us special. We're not better than the animals or anything else, but we are human. And in 2024, it is time for us to get past all this religious hatred and believing that there's different races. There is but one race on this planet. And it's called the human race. And as much at times, it pains me. The majority of times, I am grateful and proud to be human. Because it's in this Garden of Eden that I get to experience the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful that is life. You don't have to be in a refugee camp to encamp yourself. Free your mind. Let that voice that we all know, whatever you want to call it, God, the universe, source, I don't care what you call it. There's a voice we all know, we feel it. I don't need a temple or a book to tell me. I am a member of this human race in this physical time and space that I get to experience with you all. The mere fact that we breathe the same air, walk the same earth, drink the same water, we all come from woman, and death will visit us all, means we are connected forevermore. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time. I thank you for your grace. I thank you for your love. Myself and Charles would like to thank you for the support that you've shown by taking time out of your day to be here, to honor these young warriors, and they are warriors. They are our future heroes right now. We like to say our sports figures are heroes. No, these are heroes, living, breathing heroes that you witness today. I'm serious. I got goddess bumps all over me and it won't stop. And I hope it doesn't stop all day. Dr. Molly, thank you so much for being here representing the Academy of Ethics and the brilliant work that you're doing. There's another brilliant woman you guys should all get to know. She's committed to educating not just young ones and young women and using poetry to uplift, and spent years as an educator, and now bringing her talents within the Academy of Ethics so we can hopefully get to the point where we truly recognize that we are human. We're never going to get rid of all the harshness in life. I don't want to. Maybe a weird thing to say. It's how we grow and develop, but it's the kind of harshness that we keep bringing about. That's the problem. We are stronger than we believe we are. And we will come through this. How do I know? I have history to look at. We will come through this. Every season has its moment. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. I thank you. Personally, I thank you all for being here, for bringing yourself, for bringing your love, having an open heart for what we just witnessed. Be gentle with yourself so you can be gentle with others. I love you all. Peace.
Thank you, Rawle, for this, what do you say, rubbing against reality show, I would say. We are rubbing against reality.
Thank you, Dr.
My
Mahigwe.
young friends, you are the future heroes, you know, and you have that resilience in you. Come up, because nothing can prevent you, you know. There was one poem for you that I wrote when I was in Kisii University, Kenya. We had a similar performance poetry round by you youngsters. I think I met Charles also there.
Mm.
And this was the poem I just recited for them. I again recite it for you, my young friends, who are just young enough to be my grandchildren. See? Are you ready? Are you ready for the first step? Just close your eyes, gem, unafraid of what awaits. What you deemed failure prone, hanging high, leave it to the wind. Let tomorrow decide. This moment is yours, only yours.
Mm.
Are you ready to fly high above the roaring ocean, to seek its subsiding edge, sleeping like a child after a fever so fretful? Are you ready to float like the kite over the soaring mountains, standing guard to the valleys that stretch? Are you ready to shake off the languid embers of despair, smothering the flames you keep within? Are you ready to echo the sweet, sad song of the reed that moves and nods, keeping company with its own shadow? Ready? Are you ready? The moment is yours, only yours.
Mm.
So you can make it, you can warp out a future of promise and justice. Thank you, my dear children. Thank you, my dear fellow poets. And again, a big thanks to you, Rawle. This was a very touching, very soul-stirring experience.
Well, that was a nice treat, Dr. Molly, for you to say those words, but also to share that poem with us. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. I live a blessed life. That's all I could tell you. I feel so blessed right now. My heart is full. And this is one of the times, and I have it many times, but this is one of the times I feel really good about being human.
Yeah.
When I say I love you all, I'm not kidding. I love you. Do I like you? That's a different story. I'm not a comedian. I just think I'm funny, so deal with it. Anyway, go and be amazing. Go be a wonderful self. Let this ripple out. Let this ripple out. Go spread your joy, spread poetry. And like I said, my friend Eva in Greece says, poetry builds bridges. So be a bridge. Go build it. Love you all. Be well. Stay strong.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Thank you.
Hey, Raw,
Grateful.
thank you. Thanks, Raw.
You're
All
welcome.
right.
Goodbye.
Great
See
stuff.
you, Scott. See you guys.